Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Can we all hear me?
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay.
Good
I can't
afternoon. I hear
hear.
you.
Okay. I assume you can hear me, but I can't seem to hear anyone. But that's notwithstanding, we'll be going ahead to start. All right. Good afternoon once again, and welcome to class. Right. Please, can someone confirm that they can hear me? I can't really hear your volume.
Yes, we can
I
hear you.
can't, like, I'm not
We
very
can
okay.
we can hear you. We can hear you. Can you
All
hear
right.
us?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the JIIPCC Mentorship and Internship program for Artificial Intelligence and Emerging Technologies. So far, so good. We have gone through week 1, week 2, and we are currently in week 3. And it has been, amazing so far. I am sure that it has also been amazing for you. You've been able to learn quite a few things over the course of the last two class. And, we still have this class and we have a few other classes to go within the AI class. And I'm sure by the end of the program, you would have learned a lot, and that will propel you more into this space to like give you accurate and proper guidance within the space of AI. So not to waste any further time, welcome to class. Today we'll be looking at AI in decentralized finance, AI in augmented reality, in virtual reality, and our mentors will be doing well to help us, give us a run through what that is all about, and try to give us proper guidance. And sorry, please, a minute. Try to give us proper guidance. So not to waste any time, right? We'll be introducing the mentors that we're expecting in today's class. We are expecting 3 mentors in today's session, and we hope that our mentors will be helping us to do good justice to, what we have for today. The first mentor that we're expecting in class is Mr. Ridwan Badmos. Mr. Ridwan Badmos. Mr. Ridwan Badmos, we've already read his profile, but we'll be doing that again just so that we can just get to familiarize ourselves properly with him. So Mr. Ridwan Badmos is a tech lawyer, multidisciplinary privacy professional, and CTO, has extended has his expertise extends across various specialized technology law domains encompassing artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, and other cutting-edge technologies. Being a certified information privacy technologist with the LAPP and the esteemed One Trust Fellow of Privacy Technology, Ridwan is at the forefront of translating privacy regulations into functional applications that handle user data, a significant void he diligently fills. Being a certified information privacy technology, for which he diligently feels. Furthermore, his unique position in working across numerous complex projects bridges the gap between legal and technical teams, thereby harmonizing two distinct domains in this expansive technology landscape. Ridwan adores for the effective implementation of privacy and security best practices is evident in his active involvement in shaping industry standards set forth by eminent organizations such as the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the Cloud Security Alliance, and the Center of Internet Security. All right. That's our first mentor for today, Mr. Ridwan Badmos. Our second mentor for today is none other than Miss Buki, Barrister Buki Ogosakin. Barrister Buki is the principal and head Satoshi at BBO Solicitors. She's an emerging tech lawyer, primarily working with clients in emerging technology areas such as NFTs, metaverse, crypto/blockchain, AI, as well as cybersecurity and data privacy. Buki is highly sought after by our clients due to her 17 plus years additional experience in strategy and project management. Buki is also currently a consultant with Interstellar Inc., and the Lagos Business School, and volunteers as Director of Strategies at E4E. She is a Smart Contracts Research Fellow and a Kleros Decentralized Justice Fellow. She is also a certified NFT expert from the Blockchain Council, a certified international privacy professional, a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, and the International Association of Privacy Professionals. Thank you so much, Barrister Buki, for joining us in today's session. We are happy to see you in class. You are very, very, very much welcome. Our last but not least is for our mentor in today's session is focusing on the law and ethics of autonomous weapons system. His expertise spans topics like robotics, smart city technologies, digital colonialism, and privacy. He is also proficient in Python programming and data analysis. We have two mentors that have not yet joined in, but we have one mentor currently in class. We are sure that the mentor that we have in class here would, do due justice to our subject matter for today, helping us run through what we have, giving proper guidance to us in class. I want us to just sit in and prepare to have a very, very interesting discourse in today's session. After I am done or we are done with receiving our mentors presentation, please, I want the group presenters for group one and group two to get ready. After Barrister Buki is done with her presentation, we'll be taking presentations from the two groups. So Barrister Buki, you are welcome, ma. We are happy to have you in session. We're happy to have you in class today. Please, ma, we just want to give you the next, I think 30 minutes to just help us introduce today's topic, AI in decentralized finance. You're welcome, ma. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here today. As usual, I always enjoy joining the sessions. I'm actually double booked in another session right now, but I had to just make sure that I attend this particular session. So because of that, my usual slides I might not be able to share. So I'll just share from what I have on my phone currently. So our topic today is talking about AI in decentralized finance. And we all know what DeFi is because I can see that you've all done your task already. And the interesting thing about DeFi is not mainstream yet. It hasn't been widely adopted. And then we have this new technology of artificial intelligence, even disrupting an already emerging technology. So I always say it's very interesting times. And you can imagine that while we're still trying to grapple with DeFi and AI, we could actually have quantum computing on our heels, which would take everything to a completely, different level. So why or how is AI impacting DeFi? The first I would say is data analysis. So there's a lot of data in the world currently. They say data is the new oil. Data is the new cash cow, is the new king. So there's a lot of data flowing in and out. I'm sure even for us as living our daily lives, there is data overload. There's data everywhere on your phones, on your system, whatever it is that you're doing, there's just so much information flowing around. So we find that with decentralized applications and the move of a lot of people into using DeFi systems, there's a lot of data in this virtual space. And how do we manage that data? That's where AI comes in. So AI with the algorithms is able to dissect the information properly. So you are able to categorize your data into different types, different spheres. You are able to identify patterns. You are able to even predict trends because depending on, what they say about artificial intelligence is garbage in, garbage out. So depending on the information that you feed your AI models, that's the information that it will bring out for you. However, once you are able to create proper algorithms within an AI system, it will eventually begin to predict trends based off of the data that has been imputed into the system. So we find out that these AI algorithms are helpful in analyzing data properly. And this could even be data that is on-chain or off-chain. So on-chain is the data that is on the blockchain, and then off-chain is the data that is offline. Again, once you are able to identify patterns, then you can even be able to build proper frameworks. So like your go-to-market, your GTM strategy will be much more efficient because you are using AI strategies. Just try and imagine you are launching a product in Africa. Maybe you are launching in 4 different countries, maybe Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. And then you've already done this model. The data has already been imputed into the system. You've been able to gather all the data of prior to go to market, and then you go to market and pilot and all that. By the time you're launching a second product, you can leverage off that data that has already been analyzed in the first project, and then use some of that data for the second project. So that makes it, much easier. So you can see that enhancement of data analysis is very crucial for decentralized finance, the general ecosystem. Also, there are a number of trends with automated trading. I know I myself have received a number of emails. Either somebody is sending me a WhatsApp message or they're sending me an email that there's this AI bot that is trading for them. Buki, please, is this safe for me to use? And I'm like, I'm not a trader per se, but I'll be very careful about using such systems. But that just goes to show that if AI is able to analyze the data, financial data in these systems, many people are now beginning to build models and softwares that are able to trade on behalf of people. So this could be good, being used by good actors and of course bad actors as well. But we'll focus on the good part. The good aspects of automated trading is that it helps to optimize your factors, the price, the volume, the volatility of trades, is able to help you analyze such data. And this definitely will lead to increased efficiency and profitability for DeFi traders. So it's something that still needs to be explored. An area that still needs to be, people need to be very careful about because of fraud and spams and the like. However, is a part that a number of individuals and companies are exploring. Another part of the role of AI in DeFi is that it helps, with smart contracts optimization. So we know that when it comes to smart contracts, you ought to conduct your audits, your vulnerability tests on your smart contract. So some of this can actually be done now by AI, which makes it easier. Will it make it more cost effective? I think maybe with time, if there are more systems and more people who enter the market and are offering such products, it will generally make it more affordable. However, right now, you'll find that when you are doing such smart contracts audits and you have people or human beings or developers having to do that, it could be quite expensive. At the initial onset now, it's still quite pricey for you to get the softwares. But like I said, when more people flood the market, then you find that the price will generally go down for such services. So for that smart contracts audit and testing and testing for vulnerabilities, AI is very useful for that. There's also risk management as well. Previously, we've had people within teams who are risk managers, risk auditors, who manage the risks of projects and help to mitigate whatever risk that you have drawn out for your project. But with AI, you are able to use the AI to monitor the risks. You've already imputed the
Okay, it seems Barrister Buki is having a little network challenge. I thought it was from my end.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Oh,
I'm
all
back.
right.
So sorry
Okay,
about that. I think I was talking about the risks before I got cut off. So I was saying, for instance, if you've listed out your risks for a project, and you've stated, the levels of the risk. So maybe a risk is on medium risk, another one on medium high, maybe another one on low risk. And you keep entering the factors and different people, because we have a lot of remote teams working now. So, for instance, the project that I mentioned, working from 4 different countries in Africa, if from the 4 different countries, different team members are entering in the latest data that is happening on the projects, the AI algorithms will be able to detect when the levels of the risk move from one to the other. So if one risk is moving from low, for instance, to medium, your AI algorithms are able to notify the team members, that this particular risk is moving from low to high, or from 3 to 4, or from 4 to 5. Those kind of things, a number of times when you have multiple teams working from multiple locations, chances are that some of the risks may go unnoticed, or you might not be notified as and when due or immediately. But with AI algorithms, you are able to get those notifications much earlier. So, leveraging AI within your decentralized finance platforms is really key. And then again, considering that with DeFi, you have players from all over the world. A platform could have users and consumers from 120 countries, for instance. How are you going to be able to manage that incoming data effectively? So AI algorithms are able to handle that, and give you that predictive analysis that you need. So those are just some of the areas. I don't want to take too much time, because I think I'm coming up on my time, but I just wanted to give us few examples of how AI is being used in decentralized finance services, and how crucial it is. But in mentioning how effective it could be, we also have to understand that AI has its risks. So even though AI is helping to make a system more efficient, you still have to understand that that particular AI itself also needs to be watched. It needs to be audited, so that you don't develop further risks from maybe the AI going rogue, or the AI hallucinating, or it's developing existential properties, for instance. But that's a bit high-handed. But we just need to be very careful. And then just basics of data privacy, cybersecurity, bias, and the regular, lower risks of AI. We need to make sure that we watch for that as well. So I think I'll just round up on that. At least those are just some basic points for us to note with AI and DeFi systems. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, Barrister Buki, for that wonderful introduction into today's topic. I'm sure our mentees were able to pick up on some of the things you were able to share. Right about now, we do not have our other 2 mentors on call. We sincerely apologize for that. But what we'll be doing is not to waste any other time. We'll be going straight into presentations for today's class. So please, the group one presenter, you can kindly share your slides with us and then start your presentation. Please, you have 10 minutes for presentation. Try to stick to time so that we get to move on and we have a further more interactive session.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Howells Henry, and I am the presenter for Group 1. So I'll quickly share my screen now so that everyone else can be with me. Okay. Let me quickly blow it up. Right. Please, if you can see my screen, just do well to react or just say you can so I can.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So before I begin, when you posted your message in the group about the topic we're speaking about, you were specific about you have to not read from anywhere. You even went further to say speak from your heart. And it was beautiful to see that. I mean, that was like part of the guide while going through my stuff. I'm like, okay, I have to interact and communicate with my fellow mentees so much so that they understand it to the extent at which I understand. So that's what I'm going to do. And without wasting much time, real quick, we're going to be speaking on AI in decentralized finance and AI in augmented and visual reality. So straight up from my introduction, I want to paint a picture. I want to paint a scenario so that it would help us to understand better. So can you guys join me to imagine a situation where we no longer need banks? So we don't have to wait for approvals, no hidden fees, no, I had 1,000 naira in my account adding. Now I'm coming back and I'm seeing charge for maintenance, charge for SMS, charge for this and charge for that. And now I'm seeing 800 naira. These regular things that happen. No middlemen, just direct financial transactions that are controlled by you. And this is exactly what decentralized finance is doing. Ordinarily, I would have started with the definition, which is what I'm about to do right now. But I wanted to paint the picture so that we would basically understand. Now, so AI, decentralized finance is removing intermediaries, generally like banks, and creating a financial system using blockchain technology and artificial intelligence, a system that would improve security and optimize financial strategies. So that's what it's basically about. Now, it does this with 3 building blocks. These building blocks include, the first of it is blockchain, right? Now, blockchain, basically, at its core is a decentralized digital ledger. Let me just go there now. Okay. All right. So blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger, right, that records transactions securely across multiple computers. Now, let me paint a picture here, a scenario that would make us understand. So imagine there's this giant digital book that records every single transaction, but instead of being stored in one place, it is copied and updated in thousands of computers worldwide. That's blockchain. So, okay, let me paint another example. So think of Google Docs and Microsoft, right? Now, everyone has the ability to record transactions there, but the beautiful thing about it is that it's immutable, right? So no one can single-handedly alter the information that are there, and no one can erase it. And then transactions are public and transparent. Everybody can come down here and see these transactions. Everyone can verify them. And then there's no single authority that controls it. So there are no banks that would regulate or limit or restrict our use of it. And there are also no like gatekeepers. So that's basically what blockchain is. The next pillar is smart contract. Our speaker had already established or given us a foundational understanding of smart contracts. So basically, it's like a self-executing agreement written in codes, right, to ensure that transactions happen automatically when specific conditions are met. Let me paint the picture here. Now, take for instance, you want to buy a house from a real estate agent. Now, instead of dealing with a lot of paperwork, lawyers, delays, seller's agreement, and every other thing, smart contract can be used. How can it come in such a situation? So smart contract would hold the payments in escrow. So the buyer has made the payments, it's now in escrow. Now, once the ownership document have been verified, the smart contract would automatically release the funds to the seller. So if something goes wrong, there are missing documents or there are unverified documents, the contract does not process the transaction, ensuring security for both parties. So long as the conditions are not being met, then the finance will not be transferred from the escrow account the buyer has furnished to the seller. So these are ways that smart contract is actually improving and making things better. So it removes every form of human frailty or human intermediaries. It also executes financial transactions automatically and fairly, and it also reduces costs and increases efficiency. So that's basically no middlemen, no delays, just a secure automated transaction. The next is decentralized applications. So I'm talking about the three building blocks or the three pillars of DeFi right now. And when I say DeFi, I'm talking about decentralized finance. So the third one is decentralized application. For short, it's called dApps. They are usually tools for that facilitates DeFi transactions on blockchain. Now it allows users to interact with smart contracts. And now what these tools basically do is they enable lending and borrowing without banks. So you don't need banks anymore. You can use these particular tools to facilitate lending and borrowing transactions. They also enable crypto trading currencies without brokers. A typical example of is Uniswap, and then earning passive income by providing liquidity. So think of these things like banking apps, except the fact that there is no bank, just smart contracts handling transactions automatically. Now let's move further. I wouldn't want to waste too much of our time. So yeah, fundamentals of DeFi, I've already explained blockchain, smart contracts, and dApps. So we're making this document available so that every other person can read through. But these are the basis of it. So going further, AI-powered techniques for detecting DeFi fraud, security breaches, and hacks. Now, so what are these AI-powered techniques? There are different techniques that AI is using to detect fraud, security breaches, and hacks. The first amongst it is statistical technique. So, like the way our speaker earlier mentioned, they're like AI tools that enables risk analysis, right? They study models, they have a way of carrying out hypothetical testing, and then through this analysis, they are able to detect anomalies in transactions, and then also in transaction volumes and activity. So in a situation where there is an AI-powered tool that is enabling somebody facilitate transactions, it studies your pattern of transaction, it studies your pattern of withdrawals, it studies the volumes of your transaction, so that when anything unusual is happening, the AI tool immediately detects it as an anomaly and therefore stops it from happening. So someone cannot easily say hack into your stuff and want to move out all your money or any of these things. You know that there is a tool that is responsible for ensuring that your model of trade and every other thing has been studied, and as such a transaction will not be approved. The next we have is natural language processing and machine learning. So these are like still AI powered tools that basically what they do is they study the precision of details, they process transactions, they ensure that transactions are faster, safer, and even more efficient. So they study smart contracts using different techniques. Here we have techniques like TF and IDF. We have semantic analysis where they understand your language and then flag out suspicious language or logic before projects are launched. We also have machine learning models such as supervised algorithm trained on labeled data to classify fraud. So these particular models, they are trained particularly to ensure that they are able to detect frauds and to detect any anomaly in unlabeled data, and also to detect any form of unusual transactions that are like that wants to be carried out. So these things are basically AI powered artificial intelligence, and they get to study your system. They get to ensure that through their analysis, subsequent transactions that you get to involve in are properly analyzed, and then they give you feedback to ensure that there are no mistakes. They give you feedbacks to ensure that you're not going in the wrong direction. They give you feedbacks to ensure that transactions basically happen rightly, and since they are AI empowered, they just do better in every ramification. So let's move quickly to the role of AI in optimizing liquidity. Please, I would like to confirm if you guys are still with me, so it doesn't seem like I'm just speaking to the end. So if you can hear me, please just confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, Howard. Howell.
All right, thank you very much. So AI in liquidity optimization, right? So liquidity means how easily assets can be bought or sold without affecting their prices. How easily assets can be bought and sold without affecting their prices. So AI in this context enhances liquidity by ensuring that market runs efficiently. Now, let me identify the key functions in AI liquidity management. The first we have is dynamic pricing. So AI adjusts prices in real time to reduce spillage. It analyzes the algorithm of market condition in real time to see that, okay, the price is actually in tandem with real-time prices, ensuring that trades are executed at optimal rates. There is no over-exaggeration, there's no underpricing, there's no overpricing. So it analyzes worldwide transactions on that particular thing or that particular product or any of these things, and ensures that at this point, this is the rate at which it goes out in real time. And then it goes to enable that there is no spillage or reduction in the algorithm analysis to ensure that there are no analyses that are incorrect or overpriced, or like it's not in alignment with real-time pricing and all that. So it does that. And then the next is risk assessment. So AI analyzes historical data to predict losses. So what this basically means is that on the basis of several transactions that have been going on in the decentralized system, AI-powered tools get to understand this history, study and understand this history to see that its prediction enables users to avoid loss. So imagine a system where you're a trader and due to AI empowerment that you currently have, they've been able to study trades. You want to be involved in a particular trade, and these systems have been able to like study the history of those trades. They know when things would likely go wrong. They know when sales would likely bloom or any of these things, and you're being guided properly. Now, this has nothing to do with anybody coming online on YouTube and saying this is what will happen and this is not what will happen. You have tools that are studying and tools that you can rely on because you know that they've studied the history over time in that particular trade or that particular transaction or that particular product, as the case may be. And whatever they are predicting for you will ensure that your loss is being reduced. So these are part of what they do in optimizing liquidity pools and market predictions. So the next is automated marketing. Of course, this is like self-explanatory. Automated, it happens simultaneously on its own without any form of manual interference or any of these things. So cross-pool optimization. Now, AI connects multiple liquidity pools to ensure better pricing and market efficiency. I mean, with all the explanations so far, I think this would come in clearly. So let's go further to AI market prediction. Now, AI doesn't just react to the market. It predicts what will happen next using advanced data analysis. So the last speaker had already talked about data analytics and she talked about predictive analysis. So what this does is, having studied having done a descriptive analysis of what is currently ongoing, it goes further to do a predictive analysis. Take, for instance, we're seeing currently, this is what is ongoing. Currently, trades are happening in a certain way or are tilting in a certain direction. It therefore means that subsequently, this is what would happen. So it puts things into more perspective for you. It gives you clarity. It gives you context. It puts things into like it just gives you a clearer picture of what to expect in the future, and then it guides your trade. Now, without such AI-powered market predictions, a lot of things could go wrong. You know how prior to this time, people like take out a lot of, traders right now take out a lot of time in studying and analyzing markets. And most of the time, after that rigorous study and everything, it still turns out that they predict wrongly. And then these predictions lead to losses, not just for themselves, as a matter of fact, but people who are relying on their predictions. But what if there is an artificial intelligence that is empowered to do so? And then this artificial intelligence is doing so free from every form of, say, emotional constraints, fear, or any other feelings that may possibly interfere with logical calculations or logical prediction. So AI data analysis and pattern recognition scans price history, transaction volumes, and market trends to identify patterns, to know that, oh, okay, this is what happens and this is what has been happening. And so this is what will happen. And these things are as a result of study of history, transaction volumes, and market trends over time, which means you don't need to do it. There is already an AI that is empowered to do so. We have predictive analysis, which I've already explained, and then we have sentimental analysis. Now, this sentimental analysis basically is not from study of history or transaction volumes or market trends. It's basically study of new articles, social media, investor sentiment. So can you imagine that there are AI tools that would read articles, that would scan social media posts, investor sentiments? Take, for instance, Elon Musk just tweets about Bitcoin right now, and then AI instantly scans reaction from millions of sources and predicts how Bitcoin price, how it will affect Bitcoin price. So before traders even finish reading the tweet, your AI tool is already telling you, okay, this is what would happen. So, but these are sentimental analysis anyways, because it's not based on price history or transactional volumes or market trends. So yeah, that's basically it. And then now we move to the final slide, which is algorithm trading. Now, it basically allows users to, that is DeFi users in this sense, decentralized finance, to execute trades at a lightning speed. Now, how does it happen? So AI processes thousands of transactions per second to find the best deals. So now you have your tool and it's processing transactions worldwide to give you the best deal to trade in. Now, it helps you to trade instantly without human hesitation. So you have these tools that are readily available to trade on your behalf, having processed thousands of transactions to know that your predictions are very, very correct and intact. And then it trades instantly for you without any form of human hesitation. And like I also said, it removes every form of emotion-driven mistakes, making trade very efficient. Think of it as like a professional game playing at high speed strategy. Okay, let me think of, this let's use a Subway Surf, right? So you know how we play Subway Surf, and there is every possibility that when it begins to run at a high speed, you would hit a train or something would happen and then you get caught by the police officer. But this is AI playing the game for you. So it's running at a maximum speed, reacting fast, and then it's also still making the best moves. So it's really amazing. So like that's like the idea of algorithm trading, ensuring that transactions are executed based on predefined character, real-time market data, and at the maximum speed, yet ensuring efficiency. So the combination of AI and DeFi is finance changing forever. How? It removes the need for banks, like I earlier mentioned from the beginning. It makes financial transactions faster, smarter, safer, and then together they create an open, efficient, and fraud-resistant system. So this isn't just the future. It's happening right now. Our previous speaker told us it's happening now. A lot of people call her and say, I want to use this AI to trade and all that. Should I go into it? And then she gives them the advice of, yes, you can go into it, but be sure that it's a reliable one. So it's happening now, right? And really, this is my time. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't exceed my time.
All right, thank you so much, Howells, for that wonderful presentation. Well done. You did a great job in trying to break down all the terms into very simple and easy to understand terminologies. So well done to you and to your team members for putting together that presentation. Before we take feedback from our mentor for your presentation, we'll be taking Group 2's presentation. So please, the group presenter for Group 2, please, you can go ahead and start your presentation. Mr. Howells, please, you can stop sharing your slides now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Let me quickly do that now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Temitope. If I'm not mistaken, Temitope Welts. Please, you can go ahead and carry on with your presentation. You have, I think, should I say 15 minutes for your presentation? Please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm presenting on the roles of AI in creating immersive experience in AI and VR.
Sorry, please, can you kindly try to maybe speak louder? Your voice is a bit low in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, please carry on.
Okay, sir. AI enables interactive and adaptive experience. AI continuously learns from users' interaction by analyzing users' behavior, preferences, and actions. AI adapts virtual settings dynamically, ensuring personalized and engaging experiences. Even while using our various AI apps like Google Assistant, Meta AI, you can see how it easily interacts because it's when we put out our questions or even with our normal interactions with it. Natural language processing, a subset of AI, allowing AI and VR applications to understand and respond to human speech naturally. This makes digital feel more human-like. AI improves realism in AR or VR by generating high fidelity visuals, spatial audio, and adaptive soundtracks. These enhancements heighten the sense of immersion and presence in virtual environments. AI analyzes users' data to offer tailored recommendations and experiences. In VR gaming, AI can adjust difficulty levels based on player skills, ensuring an engaging challenge. AR and VR are very useful even to our gaming. You can see in our various virtual games where everything it seems real, even though it is not actually. It presents this reality. The IT role in AI and emerging tech. IT plays a vital role in AI and emerging technology, safeguarding innovation and investment through patent, copyright, trademarks, and trade secrets. That also presents challenges in defining ownership and usage in this rapidly evolving landscape. IT refers to creation of minds such as inventions, literary and artistic works, symbols, names, and images used in commerce. And there are some examples and some types of intellectual properties, which is IP. We have the patents, which protect inventions and innovations such as software, hardware, and business methods. Then copyright protects original, literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic work, such as software code, graphics, and music. Trademark protects brand identities, such as logos, name, and slogans. Trade secrets protect confidentiality and valuable information, such as business methods, algorithms, and software code. IP roles in AI and emerging tech. Roles of IP in AI. We have pattern protection. AI transformed from a speculative concept to a tangible reality, pervading various sectors such as healthcare, finance, education, and entertainment. As AI technologies advance, the implication of intellectual property becomes increasingly complex and significant. AI has a remarkable impact on different types of intellectual property, such as copyright, trade secrets, patents, trademarks, and design. For patent protection, which protects AI-related inventions such as algorithms, software, and hardware, copyright protection protects AI-generated content such as music, art, and literature. Trade secret protection protects confidential and valuable information such as AI models and training data. Trademark protection protects brand identities and prevents counterfeiting in AI-powered products and services. The importance of IP protection. Innovation protection. IP rights encourage innovation by protecting creators' work and preventing unauthorized use. IP rights can provide a competitive advantage by preventing others from copying or using similar innovations. IP can generate revenues through licensing, royalties, and litigation. IP rights protect brand identities and prevent counterfeiting. Patentability of AI inventions. AI inventions can be patented if they meet the criteria of novelty, non-obviousness, and industrial applications. There are patentability requirements, which are novelty, non-obviousness, usefulness, and enablement. For novelty, the AI invention must be new to others in the field. Non-obviousness provides a significant improvement over existing technology. Usefulness, the AI invention must have a practical application and provide a benefit to society. Therefore, enablement, the patent application must provide sufficient details to enable others to make and use the AI invention. However, the complexities of AI technology poses challenges in demonstrating these criteria to patent offices. Copyright law protects original works of authorship, but the application of copyright to AI-created works raises questions about authorship and originality. Current legal frameworks typically require a human author, making it difficult to protect AI-generated content. Challenges in patent protection for AI technologies. Fully disclosing the working of AI algorithms can be difficult due to their complexity and proprietary nature. The inventorship, determining the human invention in AI-generated invention can be challenging, raising questions about AI's role as a potential invention. For lack of transparency, AI models and algorithms can be complex and difficult to understand, making it challenging to determine patentability. AI technology is rapidly evolving, making it challenging to keep patent application up to date. AI inventions may be subject to different patent laws and regulations in different countries. Ethical implications of AI in IP law, bias in AI-driven IP enforcement. AI models can be biased, leading to unfair exclusions or misrepresentations of originality and infringement. AI models are trained on vast data sets, often scrapped from copyrighted materials without consent. Monopolization and access to innovation. Large corporations with AI-driven IP capabilities could dominate patent fields, limiting competition. The regulatory and government challenges. AI develops faster than IP laws can adapt, creating regulatory gaps. Moral rights and attribution. AI-generated art, music, and literature raises questions about moral rights. AI-generated work on ownership. Who owns AI-generated concepts? Is creator to AI development or no one? Thank you. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much, Temitope, for your presentation, and well done to you and your group. I don't know if it was only from my end, but I think there was a little bit of audibility issues. You were not as audible, but thank you all the same. We were able to pick out some of the things you were saying. So well done to you and to your team members. So now we'll be heading over to our mentor, Ms. Buki, for feedbacks on the presentation so far. Ma, please, we would like to just hear from you. Do you have any feedback for our mentees and anything you would like to generally add as regards to today's topic?
Yes, so first of all, it was great to have the presentations ahead of time to take a look at them. That was really, really good. I'd like to say well done to the mentees for all the work that they've put in. I think they covered all the necessary basic areas for the two different groups. The presentation slides were great. The topic area also, they dissected it really well. I enjoyed the outline. For the mentees, what I would just like to say is, when you are working in emerging technologies, a lot of information comes at you really fast. You are learning one aspect and then you discover another aspect while learning. And then it seems like you don't even know anything yet. So you open one door and you see 11 more. So it's a constant process. I would just like to encourage each and every one of you that those that desire to practice within this space, you have to make sure that you are very passionate about the space and that you continue to learn. So don't just stop where you've scratched the surface, but keep on going with your learning. And once you're learning, you have to also start to create as well. So think about thought leadership. I also encourage people who are within the area. We've talked about immersive technologies, we've talked about DeFi. How are you practicalizing that knowledge so that it's not just theory that you have, but then you are actually involving yourself in communities, you're involving yourself in projects practically so that you can learn better, within the area. But, aside from that, you have to be encouraged to keep going on. You are within the generation that data is at your fingertips. So please use those opportunities wisely. There's a lot more opportunities in DeFi and emerging immersive technologies that are not even that common yet. But as you're practicalizing your knowledge, you will begin to discover many opportunities within the space. So this is just a cue for you all to keep going on within the industry and the ecosystem. So it's just encouraging words, but I really enjoyed the presentations and the outline that was taken by both groups. Well done to all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Cookie, for a wonderful feedback. So, yeah, so I think in 1 hour, right, quite a lot has been said. You know, Ms. Buki has done an introduction into the topic for today. We've had presentations that, you know, we're able to highlight very necessary things within the space of AI and decentralized finance, highlighting things within the focus on AI algorithms within trading, you know, the participation of AI in helping to monitor transactions, and also the ethical, the ethical and the IP, you know, regulations around AI and its potential threats and benefits also. So with this, so much has been covered and so much has been said within an hour. So now we'll be taking questions from the mentees, right? So please, we would like to ask if there's anyone with a question that you would like to ask. You know, as part of your work or your presentation, you are supposed to send in questions, right, for our mentors to help answer during class. But we just want to overall take questions and see if, you know, we can have an interactive discussion just to end class. So please, do we have any questions from the mentees based off of everything that has been said in class, you know, and your personal research? Do you have any question for Ms. Barrister Buki? Please, you can raise your hand. You can indicate by raise of hand, or you can send your questions into the chat box, right? So please, do we have mentees with questions in class? Okay, while we're waiting to take questions from, okay. So there's a question from Joseph Winner. Joseph is asking, how enforceable is the NIDA and the NDPA in Nigeria? And Barrister Buki, are you still with us? There's a question from Joseph Winner. He's asking, how enforceable is the NIDA and NDPA in Nigeria?
Yes, I saw the question. So NIDA is the agency and NDPA is the act itself. So it's a regulation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it's highly enforceable regarding data privacy in Nigeria. And even, I believe it was yesterday or today, they released implementation guidelines on following up with the Nigerian Data Protection Act. So it's quite enforceable according to the law. You know, organizations, data controllers, and data processors or administrators need to comply with all the regulations that are regarding data privacy. So yeah, that's just is a pretty straightforward question. You need to comply with it. As far as you are a data controller or you are even handling data of any sort that is not, you know, private or personal, the one for home use or personal use within a home, you would need to comply with the NDPA. So that's the statute law.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. So while we're waiting for other questions, I think I have a question I would like to ask in relation to something the FX group presenter said, that is Harold. He said that, I think at the start of his presentation, he pointed out how that because of AI's involvement, right, in finance, the roles that AI is beginning to take within the financial sector, that it's going to eventually overhaul the need for, you know, physical commercial banks within that setting. And I just want to ask, from your own professional standpoint of view, right, in terms of in terms of speculations and predictions, Ma, do you think that it's going to be possible where traditional banking systems will be completely overhauled because of the presence of AI in finance?
Okay, well, I won't really be is overhaul the right word? I think that traditional organizations would definitely need to emerge. They would need to change. They would need to convert a number of their operations. So I'm part of a few projects where, at the back end, a lot of the banks are working tirelessly to convert, their services, some to DLT, some using some blockchain, some using a lot of AI. So the banks are working because we understand from history that organizations who are not ready to change eventually become obsolete. So they have that task at hand to ensure that they don't become obsolete. In the process of now trying to adapt to the new systems, we will find that the service range would change. But the reason why I'm careful about saying that is that a number of people are quite concerned about trust when it comes to the blockchain. So I believe that the change will happen first at the back end. Eventually, to now become widely adopted and people will understand that the back end has completely changed. But front end, I think, will take a while to change. It will happen definitely first at the back end before the obvious front end that people are generally used to. So that would be my take on it. But eventually, in a few years, definitely a lot of things will be different. People, within the finance and banking industry will be doing business in a different way. Especially if you are even looking at maybe like the stable coin introduction, you will find that there will be more introductions like that and payment rails to virtual money as opposed to fiat currency. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. So there's a question from Chinonso Emeka on the chat box. He's saying, please, Ma, throw more light on the issue of artificial intelligence and intellectual property. Is there a possibility that creativity from AI will gain IP rights in the future?
So this one, the way it currently works is AI in itself right now does not qualify as for copyright and IP. What will eventually happen is the same way fair use is currently tested. That's, I think, the way to go. So if your work is AI, the question then would be what percentage is AI and what percentage is you? There needs to be human involvement for there to be intellectual property coverage because you are covering that idea or creative work that has been done by a human. So, but if it has been done completely by AI, then what's to say it is unique in itself? So I believe very strongly, considering the cases currently in the US and some other areas of the world, Singapore, India, and the like, is to be the percentage of human involvement. And this is not just creative works alone, it to be innovations, patents and the like. What percentage is human and what percentage is AI? The closer it is to 100% AI, the less likely to be for you to get a copyright. And the closer it is to human creativity, the easier it will be to, get your intellectual property rights. That's what I think. But again, it's early days. We'll look towards cases in courts and regulations to be able to guide us further on that.
Thank you very much, Ma. So there are still a few more questions coming in on chat box. The first from Rushda. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name very well, Ibrahim. He's saying, Barasabuki, you mentioned something about practicalizing. What are we learning and practicalizing what we are learning? How best can we do that?
So the practical part will be joining communities, volunteering, interning, being part of projects, joining associations, thought leadership, which means, apart from reading, you need to be writing, you need to be engaging generally. And you have to be part of those communities, to be really, really able to practicalize the project itself, get involved, see how it works at the back end, as opposed to just looking at it from the front end. Yeah.
All right, and someone is asking a similar question. Though this person is asking, how do I practicalize this learning? Okay, the person is currently working on a project that involves this from Joseph Wiener, involves AI bots in trading. And he's asking, how do I practicalize this learning in that project as a legal practitioner?
Okay, so I said I was in another session, so you bear with me. I'm currently working on a project that involves AI bots in trading. How do I practicalize this learning in that project as a legal practitioner? AI bots. Most of the AI bots, what are you doing with the project? Are you working with them at the back end to create documents or, sorry, let me mute this one. Are you working at the back end? As a legal practitioner, you should be involved in, the data privacy of the project. You should be involved in maybe terms and conditions for that particular AI bot project. You should be involved in some compliance, some AI governance, some policy frameworks or processes. If you are now outside of the team, and you're just a user, the practical knowledge will just get to know how it works, the technicalities of it, and just project if you're a legal practitioner on the project. But if you're internal and part of the team that is working on the project itself, those are some of the things that you need to be, looking at. It's a startup UI UX designer. So as a UI UX designer, you should see how does your user stories, your walk through the project itself, what's data privacy by design, what does that look like? What does compliance look like, for the organization? If it's based in Nigeria, if it's not based in Nigeria, what are different jurisdictions? What are the laws that pertain to that particular website? Those are some of the things that you need to be looking at from the back end, since you are part of the people designing the process. So data privacy by design, even AI governance by design, a lot of those things you need to be involved in the process. And if they didn't ask you to do it, you could even just volunteer to be doing that. You can imagine, if you volunteer to take care of some of that, or you could volunteer to be part of the, legal team that is working on that, for instance. And since you're already a paid person on the team, they won't really mind that. So those are some of the practical aspects you need to be looking at. How is the IP working? Have they gotten their trademarks, whatever IP rights, regarding that particular site and software? You need to be looking at all of those things and checking some of those lists off. Yeah. Please, can you give us a list of communities that we can join to practicalize that we're learning? It depends on, there are so many different communities. You just need to be on Telegram, be on Discord, look for programs. You could use the search button, you could Google, just find out communities on Discord. Maybe your own interest is in DeFi. Maybe another person interest is in AI. Another person may be AI/blockchain. Another person may be interested in XR and metaverse. So there are so many. You can just go online and Google, but mostly it should be Discord and Telegram that they would have those communities. Twitter too. You could try to search on Twitter as well. Those that come up for you on Twitter, you could follow them. On Twitter, they will generally post their Telegram events or their Discord events. They will post on Twitter. So you can then, and don't do too much of it, okay? You can just be part of a few, just pick a selected few, join them, just even read the conversations first, learn what is happening, in the announcements. And then from there, you can start participating, you can start asking questions. And then projects will come up, you can start volunteering, those kind of things. That's how you get involved And before you know it, you're in a team volunteering and working with people from all over the world. Many of us that started in this space, we started by volunteering. Can I help you to do this? Is this okay? Can I give a Nigerian, even if it's been done before, can I give a Nigerian or African perspective on this? And before you know it, they're involving you in the process. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. And thank you to everyone who has asked questions so far. I think we've done quite well for today's session. So not to waste any time, before we call it a day in class or two class, please, I would like to kindly ask that for those that have that can, please turn on your video camera. Let's take a quick screenshots of today's session, and then we'll just call it a day. All right, thank you, Mr. Joseph. Can we have more mentees turn on their videos? We'll be doing that in, I think, let's say 2 or 3 minutes. All right, so please, can we have more mentees turn on their videos if we can? Thank you so much, Barrister Buki. Thank you, Temitope. All right, we're done with that. Thank you so much for joining in for today's session. It was a pleasure having all of us. Can we hear me? Yeah, okay. So thank you so much for joining us for today's session. It was a pleasure having all of us in class. Thank you so much, Barrister Buki, for helping us drive the discussion today and also helping us with our questions. Thank you to the mentees that participated actively. To the presenters, well done to you for a job well done with presentations, and to the two groups, well done for putting in the work and then sending in your presentation on time. Right, we still have, I think, 2 or 3 more sessions to go within the AI space. Right, so let's put in the effort, let's put in the work to make ourselves better, make ourselves better and more knowledgeable. With that, we've come to the end of today's session. Look forward to seeing you all in the next class. Please kindly do well to share what you have learned in today's session. Fill in the attendance for those that were in class. And also, like I said, you can follow Ms. Buki. Try to, follow up with her on LinkedIn to see what she's doing. And, from there, you can begin to find your way more expertly within this space. Thank you, everyone. And please enjoy the rest of your day.